I'm Josh Ryan, licensed professional counselor, and this is your Daily Rep, a short practice to build emotional control under pressure. Most people focus on what they say. Very few people focus on how they sound when they say it. But in conflict, tone moves faster than language. Before someone processes your words, they've already reacted to your tone. And that's important because you can say the right thing in the wrong way and still create a bad outcome. You can be accurate, you can be logical, you can even be calm in your mind. But if your tone carries tension, sharpness, irritation, or disrespect, the other person won't hear your point. Instead, they'll prepare to defend themselves. This is why tone escalates conflict faster than words. Tone is processed immediately. It's emotional, it's instinctive. It signals threat before logic ever has a chance. Your brain is wired for this. When someone's tone shifts, you don't sit there and analyze their sentence structure. You begin to feel it. You pick up on it instantly, and your body responds. Your guard goes up, your posture changes, your thinking begins to narrow. You move into a defense mode. That's not a failure of communication. That's a nervous system response. Now here's the problem. Most people are unaware of their tone when they're activated. They think, I'm just explaining this, or I'm just being direct, or maybe I'm just telling the truth. But what the other person hears is pressure, edge, and frustration. And once that tone is present, the conversation shifts. It is no longer about the issue being discussed. It's about the emotional interaction. That's when things escalate. Because now the other person is reacting to how they feel instead of what you said. Let's break this down a little bit. Tone is influenced by three things: your emotional state, your physical tension, and your internal narrative. If you're irritated, your tone tightens. If your body is tense, your tone sharpens. If your thoughts are critical, your tone carries it. Even if your words are neutral, that's why tone is so revealing. It exposes what's happening underneath the surface. You might say, I'm not upset, but if your tone says otherwise, people are going to believe your tone, not your words. Tone tends to be honest. And in conflict, honesty without control ultimately becomes escalation. This is where discipline comes in. Strong communicators regulate their tone intentionally. They don't just manage what they say, they manage how they say it. Because they understand something most people don't. The goal is not to just express your point. The goal is to have your point received. And reception depends heavily on tone. So let's make this a little more practical. Imagine saying this sentence: we need to talk about what happened. That sentence can land very differently depending on tone. Say it with tension, and it sounds like a warning. Say it with calm, and it may sound like an invitation. Same words, different outcome. Or take this: I hear what you're saying. Said with frustration, it sounds dismissive. Said with calm, it can sound validating. Again, same words, different impact. That's the power of tone. This is why tone is a leadership skill, because leaders who control tone control emotional direction. They can lower intensity instead of raising it. They can stabilize a conversation instead of accelerating it. They become regulating instead of reactive. Reactive people let the tone follow the emotion. Disciplined people use tone to regulate the emotion. That's a major shift. Instead of your tone being a byproduct of how you feel, it becomes a tool you use intentionally. Now let's focus on escalation. Most escalations don't start with yelling. They start with subtle shifts. A slightly sharper response, a shorter answer, maybe a hint of impatience, a little edge in the voice. Those small shifts get picked up by the other person quickly, and the other person adjusts. They match your tone, or they defend against it. Now the conversation is in the process of climbing. And once tone escalates on both sides, it's hard to bring that back down. That's why tone awareness early matters. If you catch it early, you can correct it. If you don't, it's going to build. And once it builds, now you're managing damage instead of direction. This is especially important in close relationships because tone carries history. A small shift in tone can trigger a large reaction because it reminds the other person of previous experiences. That's why someone might say, it's not what you said, it's how you said it. That's not avoidance, that's awareness. They're reacting to the tone. And tone often carries more emotional weight than words alone. So what do disciplined communicators do differently? Simply, they slow down. They lower their volume. They reduce the sharpness of their delivery. They soften their overall delivery without weakening their message. They create space in their voice because space reduces pressure, and reduced pressure ultimately lowers defensiveness. This is not about being passive. It's about being effective. Because a calm tone increases the chances that your message will actually land. And that's ultimately the goal in any communication. Not just the expression, but impact. Now here's the key. You don't fix tone by thinking about tone. You fix tone by regulating your body. Because tone is downstream from physiology. If your body's tight, your voice will reflect it. If your breathing is shallow, your tone will carry tension. If your heart rate is elevated, your delivery will feel urgent. So the real work is internal. You slow breathing, you relax your jaw, you drop your shoulders, you pause before speaking. And when your body shifts, your tone will follow. That's control, not forced, not fake, but regulated. Today's rep. In your next difficult conversation, don't just monitor your words, monitor your tone. Before you respond, take one breath. Then intentionally lower your voice just slightly. Slow the pace and remove any edge from your delivery. Say less, but say it clearer. Notice how the other person responds, because when your tone stabilizes, the conversation as a whole often stabilizes with it. We're still in Pillar 3, choosing your response. And one of the most powerful responses you can choose is controlled tone, because tone sets direction, and direction determines outcomes. If you're serious about building emotional discipline and stronger communication, stay in this process. We're on a 30-day discipline run. 17 reps completed, 13 more to go. If you want to get into the book, Pause and Respond, or the workbook, go to pauseandrespond.com. Make sure you follow this show so you don't miss the next rep, because tomorrow we build on this again. We'll talk about why silence can be more powerful than speaking in conflict. Less reaction, more choices.